not only has the game many different counters, but it also has several different kinds of markers. Here we can see some of them. Let's start with these ones. These are the what we call the situation markers. We have, for example, a smoke marker. We have a roadblock marker. We have this kind of marker which shows two different things on each side. On this side, it shows a peaceful civilian crowd, but on the other side, if I flip it, it shows a mob, an angry mob. Some of them have on the flip side a question mark, like this one. This is because at the beginning of the game they start the game hidden, so we don't know actually what's behind the question mark. We'll have to find out during the game. In this case, for example, I have a minefield, but it could be IEDs, etc. These markers instead are what we call support markers. They represent different kinds of assets. They might represent off-map artillery like this one. They might represent air support like this one, or they might represent snipers. The third kind of marker is what we call a status marker. They might be either a physical status or a moral status marker. In this case, I have a moral status marker. This is on this side. It shows a suppressed moral status, but if I flip it, I have a broken moral status. This one instead is a physical status marker. On this side, I have a 2-hit marker, which means that the unit that has this marker has received 2 hits. But if I flip it, I have a 1-hit marker. Let's see now the dice. There are 8 colored dice in the game. They can all be used for combat, but some of them can also be used for test rolls, like this: the first 5, the white, the pink, the gray, the green, and the yellow. And a couple of them, the red and the blue ones, can also be used for numeric rolls. So whenever I need to have a number as a result of my action, for example, for artillery dispersion, then I'll use one of these two, either the red or the blue one. The icons on the dice, they can be either results for combat or test rolls. So if it's a lower left icon, like the medal or the thumbs up icon, it means that they're used only for test rolls. All other icons are used for combat. So the skull, for example, means that the enemy is eliminated. The arrow pointing downwards means that the enemy is suppressed. The 3 or 2 bullet icon means that the enemy received either 1 or 2 hits. And if there's no icon at all, it means that nothing happened. It's very important to remember that the colors you have on the back side of each counter show you what we call the base die color. So it's the kind of die, the colored die you'll have to roll if there are no modifiers. So in this case, if there are no modifiers, then I'll have to roll a green die. The green die if I'm using the small arms, or the yellow one if I'm using the heavy weapon column. But this can change due to modifiers. So for example, I start with the base die, which is the green one, but then due to modifiers, I might end up rolling instead the gray or the pink one, or even the yellow one.